Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you the news. Well, at least another live stream, and this one is a little bit different, right? So you can clearly see the setup. So if you want to, look at it vertical or horizontal, we have both of those directly up there for you. Not sure if YouTube is going to specifically give out the notifications that I'm going live. It'd be like that. But yeah, so the story is this, right? So it's a story time about how my brother got this girl pregnant with twins and she left him and the babies, right? So you can clearly see I had to mute the music directly, to it. So you see the young man directly here, obviously, taking care of his responsibility, taking direct care of the kids there, right? Both twins directly with him. And we can clearly see, because this is looking directly at the page, we can clearly see some of the comments directly from the women directly here, right? One woman said maybe he should have picked better. Another woman said he should have chose better. Yo, what is up, Bushido? Another person said normalize making men single fathers. Another one said women in men fields. Another person said she saw him and says he'll make a great single father. Another person, and he'll be handling his business, rolling his babies around, laughing, right? Another person said there were obviously signs. Why would he open his legs and have children with her, right? So you see all of these women directly here. And I want to know a lot of these women, they're like 20s, right? 30s, 40s, 50s. Another person said, thank God she knew not to ruin her life. Person named Medusa, out of all things, said, good for her. I'm glad more women are choosing themselves. Another person said, he'll be all right. Another person said, Uno reverse, bet he had plans. Another person, remind him about tax time. He'll feel better. Basically saying that, well, the kids are worth money, so you really should not have a problem. That's some crazy work. Nobody said nobody is going to want a single father that failed to keep a woman. Another one, make sure he applies for food stamps. The parent who didn't file automatically gets put on child support with the laughing face emoji. And people seem to forget that if it deals with the guy directly out here and he needs some type of assistance from the government or whatnot or whatever, that's not going to happen. That's almost like nigh impossible. Nor is a guy going to specifically automatically put a woman directly on child support no matter what he's going through. Most men are like, hey, I don't need your money. I'm a man at the end of the day. I'm going to, get it how I get it, and we'll be fine without you, right? That's how a lot of men work. They're not going out there for government assistance. They're not going out there for child support or Section 8, right? They will just do it how they just so happen to do it. And the other thing is with a lot of these women, laughing about this situation, statistically speaking, yo, what is up, Tippy? Yes, you are actually here early. What is up, Tippy? The funny thing about this situation with all of these women laughing at this young dude with twins is that statistically speaking, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, people have stated that the children actually fare off better with a father than the mother. So it's crazy to see a lot of these women directly in the comment section laughing at this situation, knowing the fact that the odds are actually better with the father than with them. Which say you said some men are on assistance with kids. Yeah, but when I get what you're saying, Tippy. But even Sham, she brought up the fact that she's worked, in a sense, with people and tried to get them assistance and things of that nature. And she was basically saying that it was almost like nigh impossible, right? Not saying that you don't have men on assistance, but when you look at the numbers in comparison to women, men can't even hold a candle, can't even formulate a shadow when it deals with that. There's so many different programs for women, a lot of different money for women. So it's like, intelligence said, how likely though? Which one? Well, which part are you talking about, intelligent? Um, Capo said, yo, what is good? Chat and Seji. Nothing much. Just sitting up here going over this TikTok and going over these comments of a lot of these women here acting foolish towards this young dude who was left with the children because you had a mother that was like, I don't want to be a mom, so you got it, right? Tippy said, I feel this is what a lot of incel red pill men do to black women. They laugh at them all the time. It's wrong to laugh, but that's his. Wait, you said that's his. A lot of women. Oh, okay. You said that's how a lot of women feel. Okay, I got you. Got you. Intelligence said I was replying to the lady about my comment. Oh, okay, I got you. Got you. Got you. Um, the thing is, Tippy, a lot of dudes will sit up there. Even I include myself directly on that because you've been here long enough, and I've had videos where I've sat up there and told women, I'm like, "Yo, there were obviously signs and symptoms that this is not a good dude, and should not have gotten pregnant by this dude." I've said that time and time again, but I'm also talking from the perspective of living this in a sense, dealing with women that I knew or girls during the time being back in high school and trying to inform them like, yo, you're telling me all this stuff about this guy. You're telling me how he's the wrong guy. You're telling me all these red flags. Yo, don't get pregnant by this guy. And then they still get pregnant and then they want to sit up there and whine and cry about it later and try to blame the dude. I'm like, no, you were the dummy. You were the stupid that decided that you want to play these games. And now you messed around and found out. It ain't nobody else's fault but yours. So it's like, like I said, that's where I'm at because I've dealt with this too many times throughout my life and trying to and inform, women / girls out here, don't do this. And people still sit up there and do it. It's tough out here. Capel said, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Yo, Bungani, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said respect and love, brother Seji. What is up, brother? What is up? What is up? Miss Yvette, what is going on? He said, hey, Seji, peace to you and the chat. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Tippy said, yes, same with men, clearly seeing signs of no good women, and you still lay down with her. It is sad. But see, Tippy, this is the difference, though. A lot of men will realize this. They'll know it from the jump, and they will sit up there and take the L. They're not going to sit up there and blame all women directly out here. A lot of dudes, if you sit up there and ask them, they'll be like, yeah, there were signs, there were symptoms. I knew she was bad because of X, Y, and Z and all this other type of stuff. That was my bad. Usually, I put it to a 7 to 8 times out of 10. A lot of dudes will be honest and be like, yeah, that was on me. You're not going to see that with a lot of women. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see that with a lot of women, Tippy, and you know this. Every story, if you go on social media right now, there's a woman talking about how this dude was just the worst dude. He left me with like 9 kids, and she was just the best person, and yada yada yada. But I'm like, ma'am, did you really pay attention to the signs and the symptoms? Did you listen to your brother, your uncle, your grandfather? Did you listen to your gay male best friend? Did you listen to your father? Did you listen to Jesus when all of these men told you that this was not the dude to get pregnant by? Did you listen? And the answer is going to be no. But you know what she's going to turn around and do along with every other woman? They'll be like, it was the man's fault. It was a man's fault. So I'm like, no. I'm like, that's crazy to me. I'm like, that makes no sense. That for me, that makes no sense. Bangani said, I couldn't imagine being a teen parent, and I say that respectfully and objectively. Tippy said, that's still stupid to do and get her pregnant knowing she ain't ish. Well, you got a lot of dudes out here that, just ain't ish. So they match up with a woman that just ain't ish either. It works out. And then they both sit up there and not even both blame each other. The dude will usually blame the woman after the fact when she starts acting crazy. The woman will initially just blame the guy just like flat out from the start. The guy will usually do it like later on once it's like, yo, these red flags are way too red right now. It's like it's brighter than the sun. It's like I can't even see myself right now. Is that a shadow? It's like, that whole type of thing. Capo said, see, this is why as a man I protected my life's water. Yeah, that's bars. That's bars. Tippy said, why would a man purposely get a woman knowing okay, I think he said get a woman pregnant knowing she's on drugs, she's ratchet loud, and get her pregnant. Where did the drugs part come from? I'm a little bit confused on that one. Where where did that specifically like come from? I get the ratchet loud part. I get that part. I'm a little bit confused on where the drug part came directly from. That just threw me off. Those guys did it, what they wanted to sit up there and do. Bagani said, broken people can only break each other, and this is a society largely defined by broken people. That's facts. That's 100% facts. Miss Yvette said, I feel bad for the babies. Yeah. Yep. Tippy said, so it's broken people needing therapy altogether. How about stop blaming women and men and seeking help? Well, Tippy, I've mentioned all of those things before. And, even with me mentioning that and talking about therapy, I've still had women pull up to the scene on my videos and live streams telling me, like, no, 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 men need to do this, men need. And I'm like, well, I'm just at the point, I'm just going to play the same games. I'm just going to be right there. I'm just gonna be right there in the same mud. I'm like, fine, so be it. People just gonna be throwing stuff left and right and blind and not knowing who they throwing like the next mud ball at because can't nobody see. No problem. No problem. So like I said, that's pretty much where I'm at. You know, that is pretty much where I am. Let me tell you. Capel said you gotta go watch, or you gotta watch who you sleep with out here, opening up to any dude or in this case female. No, that's facts. That's 100% facts. The one thing that I will state is that I'm not sure who specifically raised this young dude. I mean, obviously he's doing what he needs to sit up there and do. But the one thing that is lacking more than likely is that the women of the family did not tell him the good, the bad, and the ugly when it deals with these young women directly out there, and how it is that a lot of them are liars, and how a lot of them are just not there. Right? Obviously, you can see who is mature enough to be there and who is not. Right? And you got some women in this comment section that wanted to say, like, oh, the only reason that he's a father is because he's forced. I'm like, that's like sitting up there saying, oh, if you have a father in your life, the only reason that he's a father is because he was forced. Like, it's stupid. It's like making it seem as though that no guy out here wants to actually be a father. I'm like, and the craziest part is a lot of the women in this comment section dealing with this TikTok here. I promise you that they've never even been in this situation. They probably don't even got kids, but they're in this dumbass echo chamber where they want to all just muddle the same words, like, oh yeah, men ain't this and men ain't that, and girl power, and she chose herself. I'm like, y'all sound completely stupid. This dude is a teenager. And grown women who should know better, y'all sitting up there cheering the fact that the mother left, a mother abandoned both of her kids. And quote unquote, women are supposed to be the most nurturing, right? The most loving. Obviously not. And this is why I told people before that I know some single fathers that are raising their kids at this moment in time and doing a stupendous job without the woman even being there. But the craziest part, like I told people before, you don't see, single fathers online trying to cheer and get, all of these accolades for being a single father. They're just out there they're being a parent. And a lot of women are like, oh, well, if single fathers exist, then where are they? They're out there being a parent. They're not out there on social media trying to make money off of their kids, like you see a lot of women doing who are single parents. They're up there always posturing themselves. Like, I'm a single mother. Look at me. Look at how I'm raising my kids. Look at what I'm sitting up there doing. And I'm doing this all without the man because I don't need a man. Brother, who does that? You never heard a single father out here talking about I don't need a woman. Like, that's how crazy that is. And it's like a lot of women don't even understand it. And these same women are in this comment section, right? So let's just keep going. Another person, this girl Kiki here, she said, my girl played chess. Another girl said, these young men are about to start to learn a valuable lesson. Another one said, he didn't read the red flags. Now he's a single dad. Another person said, notice the caption says, finding them a mom. Hold on, let me see if I can widen this just a little bit. She said, notice the caption says, finding them a mom because any girl he has will be used for the mom portion. What? How do we get how see, this is the difference though, right? We know for a fact that a lot of women who have kids, they'll use guys, especially let me specifically say, right? You'll have women out here that have kids, they will specifically look for the good guys to be the father. right? They're not going to look for the guys that they specifically had the kids with to be the father or to be in the children's life. They'll look for some brand new good guy, right? Who technically should have been the one that they originally had kids with, but they opted not to sit up there and do it because he was not aesthetically pleasing. He wasn't the cute, the attractive, right? He wasn't the masculine type. He was the beta, right? All of that stuff. But now, when all of that stuff that women normally go to falls to the wayside and it failed them, now they want to sit up there and go towards the other guy that they never found attractive from the very beginning. That's some crazy work. And now this woman is in the comment section talking about the only reason he's looking for a a girl or whatever to be with is just so that she can be the mom. 9 times out of 10, most women, if you ask them will they deal with a guy who has kids, they'll sit up and tell you no. So, like I said, I don't even know what she's even taught. She sounds stupid. Sounds completely crazy, right? Ty said, I am here. What is up? What is up? What's up? Tippy said, LOL, I'm sorry. I added that in to be dramatic because it happens. I got you. Capital said, hey, said it might be postnatal postnatal depression. No. See, I this is my thing. I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, you still make choices, right? I got videos of women, and these are, and I kid you not, it's not AI, Chat GPT, whatever it is that people want to say. I got videos of women sitting up there on camera taking the lives of their kids. And I'm not trying to sit up there and hear like, oh, PTSD, postpartum, and I'm not trying to hear none of that because I done covered too many stories on this platform where these women, everybody's suffering the same thing at the same time. And this is the only thought pattern that they have, not to just like, oh, let me the voices, right? The chemical imbalance is telling me maybe I should leave this child with the hospital, the fire department. Maybe I should leave them with the EMS, call 911, with the police, with the family, with the neighbors, somebody that's actually going to take care. Nah. My chemical imbalance and my postpartum is sitting up there telling me I got to sit up there and do this right now. I got to get rid of this. Word? Nah. I can't do that. Like I said, it's too many women out here that get too many excuses and they get slaps on the wrist for doing crazy stuff. Because let a man sit up there and do that. Let a man do the exact same thing to postpartum, the chemical imbalance. Let a man do that to a child. What is the world going to sit up there and say? They're going to be, oh, that's just an evil man. He knew what he was doing. Why would you do that? You could have did anything else but that, right? That's how the world will react to that. But when it deals with women, it's all these excuses. Huh? Nah, like I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. Timmy said, but it's sad that she just left her kids. That's not an aha moment to prove a point to men. Raise your kids, both men and women. Timmy also said, I saw a video of a father living on the streets with his 3 small kids. He on drugs and the mama on drugs, and she left. I mean, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Capel said children need both parents in a healthy relationship to be healthy. That's facts. That's facts. Timmy said, but let's be honest, the parents that stay are women and they get clowned for it. Why blame only her and not the daddy? Blame both. Well, Tippy, I used to be at that point where I would always sit up there and talk about both, but I see that nobody believes in equality. I used to, always try to, put everything in a balanced type of like thing. And I just like it gets tiring when it gets to the point where it's like, it just seems like everything is against you. People just ain't listening, and people always want to go on a back and forth and still want to try to put more responsibility on this side and less responsibility on the other side. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'm just going to join with everybody else. So fine. Like I said, that's pretty much where I'm at this moment in time. that's where I'm at. And this is again why people have seen so many videos over this week where I have specifically, it's a multitude of reasons why I've specifically highlighted women directly in those videos. And even with me highlighting women, a lot of the naysayers, seemingly, as I stated before, just like in several live streams, when it's time for people to actually, want to, spark up and say something, magically they don't say nothing. They don't happen to, show up, underneath those videos. They don't really have nothing to say, especially when the conversation gets very finite. when it gets to a point where people can't scramble and scrape directly around to try to really move the goalposts, people just, go excommunicado, and they were like, I don't see it. Sandra Bullock, Bird Box, Girl Boy, Boy Girl, Stevie Wonder, they don't see it. And I want to also specifically give a shout out to those out there who came to the platform and actually watched some of those videos. So shout out to the 3 to 4 to 5 or whatever, a few hundreds directly out there that came to those videos. And also shout out to those commenters, who, wanted to add their, part to the conversation in the comment section. Because I see a lot of people actually clocked out on a lot of those videos. And it can't be fatigue, because this is the first time in a while that I've continuously actually put out, continuous videos on the exact same topic like that. And, oddly enough, as I stated before, I put out the videos dealing with women, few views, but then I put out the videos with dealing with Africans, and I got, a nice, few thousand views. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's some diabolical work. I'm like, damn. I'm like, everybody want to, I put out that video, people coming out, people really showing up. I put out the other videos, people want to stay silent. I'm like, that's a little bit weird. And that's why I told people, like, yo, it'd be great if people actually stay consistent. I can stay consistent putting out content and staying focused. I would love it if people could stay consistent directly in that comment section. Just saying. Just saying. It's wild out here in these streets. It's wild out here in these social media streets. Bushido said that young men will most likely raise those kids right while not bashing their mother, and the kids will most likely resent their mother, and we all know who will get the blame. Of course, it's going to be the father. Because the craziest part is, one of the guys that I know, I love this guy a lot. I've known him for years, right? And he's raising his son. And even amongst all the things that he's faced and gone directly through raising his son, he does not, take out the time to bash the mother. He was like, yo, at the end of the day, she, I guess she thought that, she was unfit or whatnot or whatever. So, she left. Right. And he was like, I can't fault her for that. Right. That's maturity. And that's a black man that had a child with a black woman. Right. And so I just want that. I just want everybody to understand. I'm talking about the guy that I know. This is a black man that had a child with a black woman. And the black woman abandoned the child and left the child directly with the father. And he's not out here. He's not on social media trying to bash all black women. He's not on social media talking about the mother and doing this and doing that and all this other type of stuff. So, like I said before, when I look at a lot of behaviors out here and I see how men are doing things and I see how women are doing things, I see a lot of childlike behavior when it deals with women. Because again, like I said before, look at all of the content whenever people think about single parents out here talking and giving their grievances, the main number ones that you think of are women. And who was the villain in every single story? It's always the man. Every single story dealing with a single mother, the man is always the villain. But yet, let's sit up there. Let's just think about over like the last 10, 15, almost close to 20 years. How many videos can we all just sit up there and think of single fathers just going online bashing the women? I can't even give you a handful of them. Not saying that they don't exist, but there's barely any out there. And there's not really a platform that you can go to, but like, single fathers bash mothers.com. Like they don't got that. Single fathers bash mothers at YouTube, at TikTok, at X. Like, they don't really got that. But when you think about the mothers out here and how it is that they want to specifically talk about the fathers, you got that all over the place. You especially had that over like let's say like the last 30 years when it deals with mainstream media, when you had a lot of these shows, let's say like a Ricky Lake, let's say like a Maury, the Tyra Banks show, Montel Williams, Jerry Springer, like whatever show that you could think of, women would always go there and they would always badmouth the father. The father was always the villain every single time. And I'm like, that's wild to me. That is diabolical. Tippy said, well, Seji, Why would a woman want a beta man, not masculine and can't lead the fight? Well, this is the thing, Tippy. People have always thought, right, that a person, because again, I'm not sure who specifically stated this, right? Because people got to understand, when you think about war, you're not thinking about think about any war that has ever taken place. You really think that they just gathered for every single war, they gathered the most alpha of the alpha men and just put them on the front lines for every single area of the military? No. No, that's not how that works. People really think that every single person out here that knows how to fight or that will fight is just automatically an alpha. Nah, no. A lot of people are reserved. A lot of people are just like, when you push them, then they'll sit up there and show up. When people think about alphas, those are the main people that's willing. They just want to scrap with anybody. They just want to sit up there and show off. They just want to just have something happen so they can prove that they are just the champion of champions directly out here, right? That's basically, when you think about alpha, that's pretty much what that is, right? You come directly into the space and they don't like your eyes to fight. Everybody else is like, well, when you push me to that limit, you're going to see how far we're going to sit up there and take it. You're going to see specifically what you're going to get. So, and it's crazy to sit up there and say that somebody who is not quote unquote an alpha can't lead or can't protect. I'm like, there's a lot of dudes who would not even be considered an alpha that would beat the living daylights out of a lot of dudes out here. People would just never know it because that guy is just not getting pushed directly to that limit, or he's not faced with a situation where he would specifically have to sit up there and do it, right? Because the craziest part is, if we're supposed to look at this as alpha and beta, so what would be the alpha and the beta version of a woman? Because men and women are supposed to be equal or equally yoked or whatever, however it is that people want to sit up and put it. So if men have an alpha and beta, what would be the alpha and beta of a woman? So are we going to sit up there and say, the alpha of a woman is a straight independent woman that doesn't need a man and she can just fight and this, that, and the third, right? And she's just physically capable? That's going to be like less than 1% of the female population. And we all know that. Every woman out here, when you think about the greater majority of women directly out here, the greater majority of women are not about, hey, I'm about to sit up there and just fight somebody. I'm about to really get, physical. I'm about to, do this. I'm about to do that. I don't need this. Nah. You got women out there that will sit up there and be like, yo, I do need this. Or they'll basically put it in certain ways. I don't know. Like I said, the whole terminology for like alpha and beta, for me, that's just like weird. That's like some new age type stuff that people just came up with to try to separate themselves from like other folks. To be said, well, in high school, boys didn't want me. They wanted the fast girls, and fast girls would bully the boys. Now today, the boys cry about getting bullied by women, and they turn to incels. Well, Tippy, like I told you before, when I was in high school, I was getting beat out by guys that were older than me. Like the girls who were 17, they wanted guys that were like 23, 25, 30. Right? They wanted the substitute teacher. I'm like, I can't compete with that. There's nothing I can do with that. Like, they got cars, they got age over me, they of course got money. I can't sit up there and compete with that. And that was going on for a very long time, even when it deals with like the 20s. A lot of women, and like I said, a lot of women don't want to be honest, even though they'll be honest directly to a guy that's trying to get their attention, right? If you ask a lot of these young dudes out here, how difficult is it for them to attract women of the same age group? It's difficult. Because I know it was difficult for me. And I know it's very difficult directly for them, adding in with social media and this whole thought process of that. Like, you got to keep up with the Joneses. You got to have money. You got to have this. You got to have that. Like, yo, it's crazy out here. And it's been like this for eons, right? Women have always, just like how you sat up there and said that guys weren't interested in you. They wanted the fast girls. Yes, right? Cool. No problem. And girls never wanted guys the same age. They always wanted somebody that was older. And I'm talking about older. Like I said, 17-year-olds chasing dudes that's 25 and 30. Crazy work. Diabolical, but nobody wants to talk about that though. nobody wants to talk about that though. Right? That's some crazy work. Diabolical in nature. What is it? Renam, what is up? What is up? You said that the brothers that raise their children turn out better. I have seen it many times. Yep, that's facts. That's facts. Let me. I don't know. I'm gonna say Chic. Matter of fact, I'll just shorten. I put it as Dixon, right? Dixon 8463 said he's going to always be the mother and the father. He's not making no excuses. He's blessed, and I pray he and his children have the love and the support that they love. That's dope. That's dope. The only pullback that I have is saying that he's going to be the mother. Because and the reason I give a pullback again, it is a very dope comment that you left. That's the only pullback that I have because initially, no man worth their salt that is raising kids would ever say that they are the mother. Because every man knows that women are needed, right? Everybody has their certain role that they specifically play, regardless of how women want to feel directly out here. Oh, gender roles, we need to get rid of that. It needs to be gender neutral. Nah, it's never going to be gender neutral. You have a lot of women out here that are way more capable of certain types of emotions and love versus men, right? Women give certain love to children and men give certain love to children, right? That's, for at least from my perspective. And if people call me misogynistic for that, then so be it. I'll be that. Tibby said, darn that, it is both. Capel said it's sad that these kids will not have a mother and then people clown what happened. Yep. Like it's a good thing. Yep. Renam said real daddies show up and step or instead okay, real daddies show up and step up for their children to be in their children's lives, basically. He said, daddy's girl for life. Hey, shout out to your father. Shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to your father for being there and raising you. Shout out to that man. Shout out to that man. You also said shout out to the real fathers and moms rock too. Caveman said facts. Never heard it. Never. Capel said, well, I can't say nothing about that. Caveman said, what is good, Steggy? Nothing much is going over this video on TikTok. Like I said, when I happen to have videos like this and I can showcase things live, I will. Because I always have a lot of naysayers that tend to pop up every now and again. They always want to go back and forth. And seemingly none of those individuals have decided to pop up when it deals with this video. I'm actually quite shocked. Quite shocked. I was actually waiting. Let me tell you something. Tippy said, I think the men is always the villain because men are supposed to be leaders, kings and kings, have a huge responsibility over his people. So who else should we blame? LOL, just joking. Renam said, great topic and content as Seiji. No problem, much love, respect, and appreciation. Tippy said, LOL, I'm playing. Renam said, exactly. They don't in the military. Yeah, they don't. They don't. Oh, wait, Renam, this your first time catching a live. Hey, much love. I'm happy that you were able. I'm actually happy that I said actually 3 times now. I'm happy that without saying it again, I'm happy that I did a live and you were able to catch it. Much love. Caveman said, food for thought. Said, salute to Seji. Much love. Capel said, this alpha ish is dumb. We are not pack animals. Men don't kill off the children from previous males, then start breeding. Yeah, we don't. We don't. Renam said stoic male. Okay, yeah, I got you. Caveman said facts. Tippy said alpha women are stuck up thinking that they're better than everybody else because she has degrees and maybe a high-rise condo. Some are like that. No. Caveman said, I consider myself a Sigma male. Caveman said facts. Capel said older women like me when I was a teen. Yeah, and and the funny thing, Capel, and this is the main story that I told people before. Like back when I was like 19, of course, phone chat lines, stuff like that. They probably don't got those now. I'm not sure. The oldest woman that I had contact with, and again, I have to say it for YouTube purposes, the oldest woman that I had contact with during that time at the age of 19, she was 34. She was like 34 at the time, right? And like I said, we both know exactly what it was. We already had, conversations, talking and stuff and laid out a plan and all this other type of stuff. So like I said, we already knew directly what it was, and all of those things. But yeah, like I said, that's how everything basically started. That's why, for at least for me, why I would always go for older women, because older women would actually give you a shot. They would give you a chance. Women who are younger, nah. Women who are the same age, nah. It's not happening. It's not happening. And what I mean by like younger, I'm talking about during the time of high school, right? So, but it's just it's crazy. It's like you are losing out. It don't even matter. Like, and then and this is how crazy the situation directly is as well too. Just adding another layer directly onto that. I got a recent video of a guy that works at a bar, and three girls walk directly in, and he's checking, like the IDs. He saw the first one, he flipped it back and forth. He was like, "Oh man, nah." He got the second one, the third one looked at him the same, and he was like, "Yo, all right, so what we gonna do? Because y'all ain't getting in here." Because all three of those girls were teenagers and they had fake IDs, and they're trying to get into a bar. But like I said before, I try to, bring this stuff directly up here, and people always sit up there and say, we're going to just blame the men for every single thing. It's like, dog, you got these girls out here getting fake IDs, getting into adult establishments where alcohol and everything is basically being served, where adults are supposed to be with adults. Like I said, you got a lot, like I said, there's a lot of things here that are just wrong with society, and nobody wants to speak directly on it. And nobody wants to really touch on those topics because people are like, we're not going to really blame ourselves. We're not going to blame the women. We're not going to blame the young girls out here, the teenagers. We're just going to solely blame the boys and the men. And I'm like, yeah, nah. Like I said, shout out to my mom for telling me the good, the bad, and the ugly when it deals with these girls out here and the women out here. Shout out to her. Because like I said, a lot of moms out here, they are not real enough. I can say that with 100% certainty. Because when it deals with this young man here, if the women in his family would have actually raised him in such a way where they told him about the good, the bad, and the ugly, a situation like this would have realistically never occurred. He would not be like this, right? Let's keep going. Tippy said, not me. Okay, maybe I had a crush on The Rock, but that's different. He's on TV. This woman. Renab said, Tippy, I love videos. From our brother Seji. Hey, much love. Renam said, I can't do what a man does ever. Yo, and that's the same thing for Renam. That's let me just highlight that real quick. That's the same thing my mom said. Raising me, my mom always sat up there and stated that the whole thing of being the mother and the father, she always found that to be weird because she always stated that God made her to be one thing, and that is a woman. Right. So that's why I told people before that whenever I cover topics like this, my ruler, the measurement that I use is my mom. Like I said, my mom wasn't out here acting like a weirdo, like a lot of these women on social media, where they're the mother and the father, and they don't need a man and all this other type of stuff, and everything is the father's fault. Well, like I said, my mom was not. That was not my mom ever. Ever. Like I said, if my mom would ever get on social media, the way she would start going at some of these videos from a lot of these women, oh man, it'd be like Armageddon. It would be like Armageddon. Oh my God, it would be terrible. But it would be hilarious for me. It'll be hilarious. Renam said, please keep up the great content and such. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation, and will do. Capo said, yeah, mine was my sister's friend. I was an only child. I don't even know what this is like. Tibby said, I'm glad I'm not a man. I can't stand those women who say they don't need a man, but ignore the fact that they're living and breathing because of a man. Just think about that. Renam said, the older women must have put you on game. Yeah, something like that. Timmy said, I wanted a boyfriend my age, but nobody liked me. Renam said, wait, brother was, or he said, brother, that was illegal. Wait, how was that illegal? I'm confused. Somebody educate me, right? So again, me being 19, phone chat line, I'm sitting there having conversations. Everybody is straightforward and honest. And this was the person that I ended up talking directly to. And That's how that situation worked out. Because again, I just want to put this directly out there. When I would talk during that timeline, right? Women who are within the ages of me at the time, I was like 19, right? So there were other 19-year-olds up there, women that were 20, 21, 22, right? So the moment of time that I would happen to talk to them, either they would just like click, go to the next person. Some of them would be rude. Or other ones would just pull up, be like, I know, 19, you're immature, this. Even if I was 19 and she was 19, I was still, oh, you're immature. You're not really, at my level mentally. I need somebody that's 25 and 30. It would be that whole type of deal. Right. So again, getting shot down all over the place. Shot down all over the place. And like I said, that comes with being a guy. It be like that. So for me, it worked. I don't see nothing illegal. Like I said, I knew exactly what it was that I was going for. And I went directly after it. It's like, you know, I don't I don't know what to sit up there and tell people. Sham said they left him to the wolves, didn't they? Um oh wait. It's not Renam? Oh snap. Okay, so it's Rena. Okay, I got you. See, I was just reading the YouTube name. So I wait. Okay, maybe it might be a typo then, I guess. Okay, so I got you. Okay, Rena. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna mental notes. So when I see your name, I'm gonna make sure to just say Rena. I got you. Timmy said exactly those women who say that they're both are probably transams. I don't know. It's crazy work. Richard said men and women aren't equal. Men have 17% more strength in their hands than women do. That is not equal. Well, I think you're like going over like what I was basically stating. I'm talking about from like the standpoint of where a lot of people like to put it in society as being equal and all the other type of stuff, or religious purposes and whatnot or whatever. Capo said I was 17, 18, and that is a lot of fun. I had to go back up real quick. Okay, Serena said okay, that was legal. My bad. No problem. No problem. I got you. Capo said Trans Am. Dang, yeah. Yo, Mo, what is up? You said Mo said how many pounds? I mean, she was a big girl, so it'd be like that. Like I said, I like women with weight. I don't know what to sit up and tell people. I'm not really the type of person that's gonna sit up there and like indub somebody directly on that. You know, like I said, women of all sizes are, very beautiful people. Rena said, no worries, brother. Rena is fine. YouTube changes my name. Okay, I got you. Tippy said, definitely not equal. I can't take out the trash like a man. It's hard. I'm sorry. I can't. Oh, Tippy every time. Oh my God. Sham said, LOL, why everyone over here? Um, oh, wait. So wait. Sham, so are you saying that there's like two separate chats? I guess. I guess that's what you're saying. Because I mean, we do technically got two different streams. We got the vertical and then we got the horizontal. So I didn't know it was going to be two separate chats. I thought it would actually be the same chat, but I guess not. It'd be like that though. But yeah, let's keep going through some of these comments. Another woman said, I'm proud of her. Another person said he didn't leave the kids because she left first. Another one said, as a mother of infant twins whose baby daddy is a deadbeat, I love this. I want to, who is this? Who is this? This bold woman, I don't know who she is. I know she's never going to see this live stream. I want you to know as a woman, you're trash. For the most part, that you stated that your baby daddy is a deadbeat. You knew he was a deadbeat somewhere in the relationship or during the time that you slept with him, but you still decided to sit up there and sleep with him. And now you get online and you want to sit up there and complain and vent your frustration and your anger towards somebody that's not even your baby daddy, towards a teenager. You're weird. You're 100% weird. You're a grown woman. You're weird. 1,000%. Go sit up there and have that energy with the men who impregnated you. Right? You're a weirdo. Another person said, my sister did this with her kids, knowing the baby daddy didn't have it, but boy, his village came through for him. I'm happy for him and the kids. He's doing his thing, and my sister is a deadbeat. This is the most honest. I want y'all to understand. This is one of the most honest comments that you will actually see here, where a woman is actually calling out somebody that she knows for being a deadbeat. Because usually, a lot of women are not going to call out other women for being a deadbeat at all. There's a lot of women taking some medications and things of that nature to make sure that if a child was supposed to be present, that the child is no longer going to be present. Again, that's a deadbeat. And I'm not talking about somebody that's a teenager. I'm not talking about, maybe that somebody had a can I mention a one night stand? Because that's a little bit iffy within itself too. I'll throw it in there with a little bit, right? I'm not talking about the women that, in a sense, had a one night stand mistake and something may have broke. I'm talking about people having consensual relations with another person unprotected, knowingly consensual relations. You're a deadbeat. It don't matter how you sit up there and frame it. You're a deadbeat, but nobody wants to talk about it, and that's problematic. That is highly problematic. That is showing that people are not purely responsible with their bodies. Right? We already know that dudes are not responsible, right? That's already a given. But for women out here to not be responsible with their bodies, knowing the fact that they have to take the brunt of, having the child, right? Having the child grow within them and everything that comes with that, that's crazy to me. That's diabolical. That's 100% diabolical. And this is why I sit up there. I look at a lot of women weird because I'm like, dog, you have a huge responsibility because you're the one that brings life. You're the one that carries life. And this has an effect directly on your life, the totality of your life. Right? You got a lot of women that sit up there and end up losing their lives just from carrying. Sham said, I think YouTube glitched out. The other one was gone. Okay. Oh, my condolences, Miss Renee. My condolences. My condolences. Man, that's tough. Shout out to your husband. Shout out to your late husband. Let me see. Tippy said, wait, he's a teenager. Darn, I blame the parents then. Ricardo says she grinded out a puppy to keep him miserable, to keep her miserable self in his life. He didn't hold you at gunpoint. Sham said, LOL, I live near the woods, and one night taking out the trash, something massive was in the garbage can. I threw the trash at it, screamed, and ran back in the house. Wow, that's great. I can't, the craziest part is because I know how tall like Sham is. That would be a sight right there. That would be a sight right there because I know how tall Sham is. Like Sham running and screaming. I can hear Sham screaming because I didn't heard Sham scream on a lot of games in frustration when something goes wrong. I didn't heard that. But to see Sham both scream and run, that would have to be a sight to behold. What was it? Let me see. Tippy said this boy's parents should have told him to not be out there giving a seed to whoever without a plan. Ricardo said there's 33 methods of BC and 2. You couldn't rub 2 brain cells together and choose one for real. Let me see. Sham said height means nothing. Oh man, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Another person up here said he should have chose better. Another person said normalize this. Jay Dior said I'm happy for her and hope she is doing great in her life. Like I said, I'm just trying to showcase the fact that a lot of these comments in here are grown women, and this is clownery. This is 100% straight clownery. Another one said, God, out of all names, her name is God's gift. She said, turn him into a single father. Normalize this. Another person said, more mothers need to do this. Then you're not a mother. If you're a woman that abandoned your child, you're not a mother. If a man abandons his children, his responsibility, you're not getting called a father or a dad. So it's like, what are we talking about? How is it possible that a woman can still be a mother and she runs away from responsibility? Like I said, the double standards out here is diabolical. This is crazy. And like I said, nobody would believe me when I talk about this stuff if I did not showcase proof. Like, that is wild. That's 100% wild to me. Still calling that person a mother, even though she willfully abandoned her kids. Wow. Double standards, guys. Double standards. Another person said, respect to her for doing this because you never know what could have happened to the babies. Postpartum depression is no joke. Let her get her life together. All right, cool, right? So this person, Tommy F, set up and said, let the mother get her life together. Let the woman get her life together, right? What should happen, and I stated this in the solo video, what should realistically happen is that this young man, well, his parents will probably have to do it. They need to file for get 100% sole custody, and she can never return again ever to those children's lives. You abandoned them. I'm not trying to hear no postpartum. I'm not trying to hear no chemical imbalance. I'm not trying to hear none of that. You completely abandon those kids. So just like you abandon them, never come back, never show back up. Treat that just like adoption. You are never to see those kids or even have contact because you relinquished your rights the moment in time that you stepped away. The moment in time that you gave those kids up, you abandoned those kids because you felt or you was quote unquote going through something. That's how that should sit up there and work. Because I promise you that this young man is not going to go up there and go for child support. I promise you the family is not going to go for child support. I promise you this young man is not going to be on Section 8. He's not going to be on government assistance. He's going to sit up there and he's going to work this out. Of course, he got his family directly with him. He's going to be working his job and sitting up there doing school. And you're not going to see him on social media talking about this, I hate these women and all. You're not going to see none of that. He's not going to be online trying to make money off of these kids. Understand what I'm saying? Like I said, we got a piss poor culture out here where you got a lot of women that make money off of drama and off of their kids. And the kids don't even get none of the money. It's the women. that's the craziest part. It'd have been different if the women were going out here making all of these social media videos and the kids they got like, $50,000 for a scholarship. Again, it's still bad energy being put directly out there, but I guess the ends justify the means, right? But that's just not the case. It's not the case. Another woman called her a legend. Another person said, normalize deadbeat moms is diabolical. It is. Another person said, good for her. To be honest, she can't sabotage her future. Another person says, single fathers are better parents than single mothers. So no loss for real. Let's see some of these comments here. Another person said, good, they can stay with him. Another person said, no, they aren't. They just have all of their female family members pick up the slack. Let me let y'all know something. This is whoever Sunny Rose is. You're a trash bag. I just want you to understand that you are straight dumpster garbage. There are umpteen times I done seen, especially during my timeline, I done seen young girls. Oh, I want to go out to the club. I want to take trips. I got to go out on a date. You know who's sitting up there taking care of the kids? It'll be a sister. It'll be an aunt. It'll be a grandmother. It'll be a mother. Some female in the family or an associate female, they'll be sitting up there taking care of those kids while she's sitting up there still trying to live her best life. So what are we talking about right now? This is what we call class. This is called projection. Because this is normally what you see a lot of women out here do. They will lean on the women of the family to take care of the burden, which is the kids, and to also raise those kids. Because they still want to have their time to do the things that they want to do, even though they create a responsibility that they should be responsible for, but they're not. And they're going to throw their responsibility onto everybody else. This is why we have the whole saying, it takes a village to raise a child, at least from my point of view. Just saying, like I said, this is trash bag type of commentary here in these comment sections dealing with this TikTok video. It's crazy. That is some diabolical work. Diabolical. Ricardo said that child support hustle is dying. It is. It is. Sham said just because she didn't want to raise them doesn't mean that she shouldn't be responsible. I mean, technically, I agree. But also, I sit up there and say that she was unfit. She was unfit from the get-go, and I'm not believing at any point in time that she's going to get her life together where she's going to be fit for these kids. What will happen though, Sham, I'll tell you this though. What's going to happen is that she relinquished her ability to be a mother here in a sense because she abandoned the kids, but she'll turn around and get pregnant by another guy and she'll be with that dude, right? This is obviously a young man who is ready to take care, well, as ready as possible to take care of his responsibility, right? That same girl is going to get pregnant by somebody else, and she's going to be with that guy that is going to leave her downtrodden, that is going to, be beating the mess out of her, that is going to be the most disrespectful to her, and that's the person that she's going to be the most loyal to, not him. And that's the crazy part to me. Like, when you got young dudes like this out here that actually want to be there, women are like, nah, that's okay. But when it's the dudes that want to leave and they don't want to have no part of the situation, now women want to boo-hoo and cry, and they be like, no, you got to be here for the child's life. Well, I'm going to force you to be here. Now I'm throwing you on child support and this, that, and the third. And like, do all the things for the wrong guy. Crazy work out here. Let me tell you something. Crazy work. Diabolical in nature. Let me see what we got. Rena said, twins are a blessing. My dad is a twin, and now his twin sister and I lived together for many years. Auntie never had children, but nieces and nephews. That's dope. Tippy said, it's kind of rare to have twins. Let me see. Let me go down. Let me see. Tahunga, what is up? What is up? You said, but when men don't want the children and we still have to care for them. Yo, old school, what is up? What is up? What is up? Sham said, yes, she is unfit. That is why he should go to court and make sure he gets full custody. I think this young man, current parents are failing him too, because they should be advising him. That's true. Tippy said, well, the babies are here in this cruel world. Let's spread love and positivity to this young man, gentleman, and his twins. That's bars. Now, right? Yo, Rena, what is up for we're going to just round up that to $5. Shout out to the $5 dono to the channel. Let me just highlight the highlight. Okay. You said, keep up the great work, my brother. Your content gets me through my night shift. Much love. Hey, that's dope. All right. That's dope. I might have to, start doing some late night live streams like I used to do. And the funny part is, this is one of the main reasons I used to do the all day or the late night live stream. Sham, Tippy, Mo, Ty, Hack, a few others. I think Old School might have been there a few times as well too. That's one of the main reasons. I think I had told y'all that some years ago, why I would do like the longer hours, live streams, especially during the night, because I know and I understand that some people, do work night shifts and you need something to keep you entertained, something to keep you up. So I'm like, all right, I'll be here. I got you. No problem. Mo talking about says you have to die. We ain't going that far back. We're talking about the normal. Mo trying to take it back. We're just talking about the normal streams, Mo. We're talking about the the normal conversations that everybody can enter directly in. Nothing that's what was it? NWSF, not safe for NWFS, not safe for work. Wait. Anyways, y'all know what I'm saying. It's early in the afternoon, Sunday. It'd be like that. Y'all know what I'm saying. What was it? Rena said, you got us knock shift folks in nursing. Much love, much love. Sham said, playing 7 days to die. Oh yeah, I've been seeing you. You've been no life in that. I got you. I seen you out here. Wait, what did Apple say? You got me there. You got there before me. Oh man, look at this. It said mac and cheese. This man right here. Ricardo said, I've told my son for years, I can show you where the landmines are, but I can't stop you from stepping on them. That's bars. That is a line right there. That is straight bars. Like I said, mistakes do happen. Like I said, I've gone over, life mistakes myself so that, other young dudes out here don't have to go through the exact same mistakes. And the reason why I'm stating those life mistakes is because now we're going to listen directly to this story, because there's a part 2 directly to this. And I didn't expect this. Again, I'm going to put out the initial video my initial reaction, because it is what it is, because it's the first time looking at this video and looking through the comments. And then I'm going to do a second video, which is going to add in this clip that you're going to see here. So this is when it gets a little bit deeper, right? So let's take a listen to what the sister has to say.
Okay, so story time about how my brother baby mama left him and the twins. But before we get into that, first of all, let me say, some of y'all got my brother fucked up. The mentality of some of y'all is crazy, but we listen and we don't judge. So I posted this video because I was trolling my brother. I was making fun of him because like, you got baby mama. Baby mama? Yeah, whatever. So he got baby mama. She left him with the kids because she wanted out. And okay. But the funny part is, well, it's not really funny, but laugh to keep from crying. During the time, from the time I posted that video to after, like right now, we've already been going through the motions to figure out what's going on with her, him, the kids. So come to find out, the twins aren't even his. So not only did she leave him and the babies, she left him with babies that aren't his. But he's already bonded with these babies. These babies live with him. As y'all can see, they're still really little. So they're only a few months. It's not like, oh, this is later down the line. So everything here is still new. He originally thought they were his because, they've been together for a really long time. And I mean a really long time. So to find out that they're not his, she's gone. And now what do? We have no clue. So I don't know. I guess I'll update y'all when we figure this all out. But anyways, they're still with him, and he's awesome, dad or whatever. But technically, my boy still don't have kids, and I guess single. What do you call? No call, no show, job abandonment. I don't know. But yeah, I guess tap in. I don't know. I'll get back to y'all on that part.
So we heard that, right? Yeah, buddy. Yep. That's life right there. So all of these women, and I want to reinstate, there's about 6,779 comments directly on this video. Over, I think it was like 100,000 likes. Because one of the comments, the craziest part is, let me see if I can go back up here. One of the comments directly up here, I want to see if I can find it. It should be somewhere at the top, right? You got this one that got 32K comments, another one 21K. One of these comments has over 100K. That one has 50. Yeah, this one. You got this woman up here, 110K. So again, you have a lot of women that watched this video. I'm talking about women of the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s, right? All of these older ages of women that are up here making fun of this young dude and using this as a gotcha moment dealing with men, but this is a teenager. Like I said, these are older women. Like I said, this is why I don't really believe in the whole thing of like, women age faster. Like, I don't see it. These are tons of women. And nobody can sit up there and tell me, oh, you're just looking at a few women. Dog, these are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of women. And even the ones that did not leave a comment, over 100+ K of them sat up there and put likes to a lot of these comments that are illogical and nonsensical directly up here. That's some crazy work. All to find out because none of these clowns did any further research because they were like, aha, we got them in. Yes, this needs to happen. All to find out that the mother of these kids is a whole trash bag. The kids ain't even his, dog. The kids are not even his. He got left. He got abandoned with 2 kids that's not even his. How does that work? And do you think that any of these women in this comment section, are going to come back and apologize? Nope. Do you think any of these women in this comment section are going to sit up there and say that that mother needs to be held accountable? Nope. Do you think that any of these women are going to sit up there and say that, yo, I feel bad for this young dude? Nope. He got abandoned and left with kids that's not even his. And he originally thought that those kids were his because he was with that girl. This is why I stated to people before, no man out here will know with 100% certainty that his kids are his. It is impossible. It is impossible. Only a woman knows who the father is. Only a woman knows. A guy cannot know. It's impossible. A woman holds the facilities. She has the factory to make the product. She knows what goes in and what goes out. No man knows that. You can only lead on blind faith. It's like believing in some religion. You don't know if anything is real up until it actually happens. And this young dude, there was obviously no God. Obviously. And he got left with these two kids that now he's responsible for and he's already attached to. That's some crazy work. And you got all of these women up in the TikTok comment section talking about like, oh yeah, nobody can ruin her life. We need to make more men single father. And this is why I've gone over the statistics when it deals with Jamaica and Nigeria and how it is that they lead the world in the amount of cases where the father is proven not to be the father, especially in Nigeria and in Jamaica. Down there in Jamaica, you got, I think they said about, it was like 25. It was like somewhere up to like 25, almost 30% of the men there raising kids. They're raising kids that are not even theirs. And it's close to the same over there in Nigeria. That's some diabolical work. That's a diabolical work. Let me tell you something. If at any moment in time, I would never fault this young man if he never wants to have kids after this situation. I would never fault him. I would never fault him if he feels a certain type of way about women. I would never fault him because that's crazy. You got two broken hearts right there. One, because you entrusted in this woman and you believe that the kids that she left were yours. And then to find out that those kids are not yours. Wow. 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 Wow, 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 wow. Sham said low key says it's like that in Israel too. That's why DNA testing is illegal there. Oh, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Ricardo said in Nigeria, the number one social ill is paternity fraud. Oh, yeah. Yeah, them in Jamaica. They lead the world. Rena said those babies will be great if he raises them. A woman will help him and take all in. I mean, yeah, look, it's going to be. He is. Let me tell you something because I've dealt with this before. It is going to be very tough for him to get over that. It's going to be very tough for him to actually want to trust another girl or woman in that instance. He's going to have a lot of trust issues. Because a lot of women always sit up there and talk about guys like, oh, the guy cheated, he did this and that, and I got trusted. All right, cool, but you keep dating them. So obviously the trust issues ain't really that deep as you're making them, seem. When it deals with this situation, no woman has ever gone through anything like this because it's impossible for a woman to actually go through this. To basically try to make it seem like the person is the father and then they find out that they're not the father. Nah, no woman has ever been through anything like that out of the history of this planet. So the amount of trust issues that he's going to actually have and how this is going to affect a lot of things is going to be tough. And it's also, the amount of maturity that you have to have in order to look at a child every single day and to not have a type of resentment or to fault them is immense. And a lot of women don't understand that because, again, this is something specific. Just like how women say that only they can go through pregnancy, only men can specifically go through this. Nobody else can go through this exact same situation but men. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be able to go through this and to still love those kids fully, to still be there for them mentally and physically, to not place blame. It takes a lot. And what would make it even more difficult is if one of those kids are girls, or if both of them are girls and they look just like the mother. Woo! Oh boy, like I said, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of patience. But because he's a young man, he'll be able to do it. He'll be able to do it. Black Cherub said he's a fool. Nah, he's not a fool. He's young. He's young and he's responsible because, again, like I said before, he's a teenager. So like I said, I give grace directly to young teenage males directly. I'm not going to sit up there and call him a fool. I'm not going to do that. Because, like I said, this young man right here is more responsible than a lot of grown men directly out here. And that's just bars. That's facts. Because a lot of dudes out here, they were just abandoned from the get-go. I'm talking about once they initially find out that somebody is pregnant or some kids are basically around, they would have initially just abandoned from the get-go. So let's not even go there. Let's not do that, sir. Let's not do it. Because, like I said, there are too many irresponsible grown men who are in their deep 20s, 30s, 40s, and even 50s, maybe even 60s. So let's not do it. Let's not do it. Like I said, he ended up getting an attachment to those young kids because they were obviously there for, he was more than likely there for a greater duration of their young life that they currently have at this moment in time. So because of that attachment, he's in a difficult area. It's easy for you as a grown male adult to sit up there and say, he's a fool. I would have been left out. That's cool. You're a grown adult. So it's easy for you to say, because again, you're not in that specific predicament. Again, I've been in that predicament. And I can sit up there and tell you with certainty, it ain't as easy as you think it is. Right? It's not as easy as you think it is. Like I said, it's easy to sit up there and go from the perspective of just being on the outside and you're just looking at the situation and you just be like, I would have been did this, that, and the third. And yeah, from the outside of perspective, you can sit up there and say, if an asteroid hits the planet, if I had superpowers, I would have did this, but you don't. You're not in that position. You're not, the person that's the pilot of the plane that can do this, that, and the third, right? Like I said, people gotta bring stuff directly into reality in a lot of cases. Rena said, yes, his trust will be hurt, so DNA at birth will calm that some. Yeah, that's true. Sham said, France is even worse because culture-wise, cheating is normal. So men and women be raising other people's kids. I mean, cheating is also a normal thing directly in Japan as well, too. Cheating culture is a normalcy directly there. Sham said there is some, but it's because of a unique DNA sequence with humans who have two genetic DNAs. It's extremely rare. Tippy said this is sad and he has an attachment to them. He loves those babies, and to find out that they're not his and still has love for them, though they're babies, and that is rough. Rena said our brothers need therapy at this point. Our brother needs therapy at this point. Yeah. Yeah. Tippy said when you have a small baby in your arms, it hits differently looking at them. It does. It does. Um, and the craziest part is, like I've stated before, this is the only way I can sit up there and put it, especially being younger. For whatever reason, I would always attract girls. Let's say, like, during the time of like high school, I would always attract girls that would have like kids for whatever reason. And again, it's not like I have a problem with kids. I love kids. Kids are dope. Kids are great. They are the reason that adults are able to make mistakes, completely be stupid, and whatever happens, because there will always be kids to replace those lives that are no longer here, right? Or to clean up the mess. Not saying that it's right to place the responsibility on the kids, but I'm just saying. I had a point, I just lost it. Oh yeah, okay. He was talking about it hits different, yeah. And for me, the way that I would sit up there and look at it, I would never sit up there and just automatically drop a girl because she had it like a kid. I would never sit up there and tell her just like I'm not interested. I would sit up there and give it a shot because in my mind, I sat up there and just looked at it. I'm like, all right, it's a package deal. I'm completely fine directly with it, and however it works is however it works. And that's the way that I set up to look at it. I'm talking about, and that's at a very young age, right? And I didn't have nobody to sit up there and teach me that. That wasn't instilled to me, as some people would sit up there and say, like, oh, that was instilled to you by the single mothers. That's the single mothers. No, nobody instilled that within me. That's just how I looked at. That's the type of perspective that I had when it dealt with certain situations in life. Like I said, you sometimes you're dealt, a hand in life, and you got to figure out how to deal with it, right? You got to figure out how to sit up there and make it work, right? And again, especially during that time, I did my best not to sit up there and try to fault, people, because there's a variety of different situations. And especially during that time, I understood that you got guys out here, as soon as they heard the word baby, they would freak out and they would just dip out and leave. They would just abandon. And I was never the type of person to automatically just, run from situations, you know. And this is why I can't, this is why I laugh at the terminology alpha male, because a lot of the quote unquote alpha males, you got a lot of those dudes abandoning their kids. You got a lot of those dudes running away from, very serious responsibilities. So I'm like, I can't really consider them alphas if you ain't really taking care of your responsibilities. If you ducking, if you scraping and scrambling, directly out here, I'm like, that's crazy to me. Um, let me see. Yeah, what is up, Gail? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Sham said, yes, he's a teenager, though his life is ahead of him, and this young one is still a child. It gets harder to raise as well. I commend him, but I don't think keeping them is the right path. I mean, yeah, I say that. Sham said, put his sister to the side for laughing at him and his situation. I'm a bit pissed at her. No, yeah. Because like I said, I'm looking at her. I'm like, she's probably in like her early 20s. So again, this is what they tend to do in the early 20s. They'll laugh at serious situations like that and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, the maturity. I've stated this before. I don't know who keeps saying that girls mature faster than boys. I don't believe it, because this is a serious situation and it's not a laughable one. And to, in a sense, laugh at your brother getting left with the responsibility of raising kids that are not his, that's crazy. He got lied to by the girl directly in his face, dealing with the relationship. His faith was basically broken. His faith and trust was basically broken in that person by way of the relationship and her leaving. And then it was broken again by finding out that the kids are not even his. And he's now being made responsible for those kids while the girl just dip off somewhere. That's wild to me. That is wild. That is wild. Um Sham said, "LOL." Oh, you're talking to yeah. Let me see. Gail said, I would take care of someone else's kids is like wearing somebody else's boxers. That's crazy. Rena said, women look at men with children hard. We look at a dad that is present in his baby's lives if we can. Tippy said, I'm not a man. Oh, wait, you said I'm not a mom, but I am an auntie that helped raise my nieces and nephews. And when they were babies, holding them in your arms and seeing them laugh is amazing. I almost had baby fever. Sham says she was filming him, ain't even trying to help him with the bag or a baby, nothing. I can't stand it. No wonder he finding trash women at a young age, trash women at home. Woo! Diabolical. Diabolical. Capel said them babies got to go. Sham said he better be careful. Crazy girls come back and accuse him of kidnapping. It's better to go to the courts and whatnot. Yeah, that's true. And that's the main thing I said before. Like, I would like for him to actually get full custody directly over that situation and things of that nature. Because like I said, it's crazy. So another video that I do want to technically touch directly on that is highly nonsensical. Let me see if I can actually uh find it real quick. Ooh, can't put that one on it. That would have been problem. Can't do that one either. Ooh boy. Wait, let me just make sure. Yeah, okay. Let me see. Nope. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. This is, let me see.
And don't bother me.
Okay, so obviously we're looking at somebody who is in I'm gonna just say that she has to be, I'm hoping, I pray to God that she is in her early 20s. I pray to God, because if she's in her late 20s to her 30s, either which way is bad. But I guess you could try to give some excuses to somebody being in their 20s and just being dumb and regurgitating the exact same trash. I'm going to let y'all listen to this. And yeah.
I like men that spend money on me and don't bother me. I don't like men that only spend money on me when they're in my presence. This guy just called me and asked me what I was doing tonight and if I wanted to go out. I don't have an issue with going out tonight. I'm dressed. I'm about to go out with my friends. My issue is he's only going to spend money on me if he's there. Because he's always just trying to he's always like, are you hungry? Do you need anything? All this stuff. But if I ever say I'm hungry, he wants to pick me up and take me to dinner. Just send me the money. And it's the same thing for tonight. And I know that if he was to come, he would pay for everything and he'd make sure all my friends got home safe and he'd drive us everything. Even the guy that we're going out with, he would take care of him. But it's like, just send me the money and leave me alone.
I see you down there, Sham. Stay safe, Sham. Just take it easy. Just relax. No life, some games. We're gonna have to, get you one of those Elon robots, to do the work directly for you. That's what we're gonna have to sit up there and do. We're gonna have to get you one of those Elon robots to do all the yard work and the farming for you. Don't worry. When the moment of time I hit that Mega Millions lottery, Sham, we got you. We're going to sit up and get you one of those 25K robots. You're going to be out there, back there shoveling and everything. So everybody was able to listen to this video. So again, this is not me just stating, whatever it is that I feel. I want y'all to know, she said that the guy that she knows, he would afford her everything. More than likely, if he could, he would buy this woman the world. So I want to know that this is obviously a very generous, this is a very nice guy, right? And he's obviously interested in her, but she is not interested in him. She said that she doesn't really care for him. She just wants the money. Just leave her alone. Just send the money and leave her alone. I want y'all to know it's because of women like this that other women are having a very hard time finding guys who want to actually just spoil them and just be there with. She even stated that the dude he would love to just sit up there and be around her and take her out and things of that nature. She was like, nah, I don't care. I don't want none of that. Just send me the money. Just send me the money and just leave me alone. That's wild. That's wild to sit up there and say that about somebody. That the only benefit that they have for you is to just give you money. That's bum type of behavior. That's broke type of behavior. And you got a lot of women that like to sit up there and say that, oh, the only people that ever use people is men. Men are the only ones that ever use anybody. They use everybody. What did I just listen to? She stated everything positive about this guy, while at the same time saying everything positive is everything that is negative. You can't make this up. Like I said, I don't look for any guy directly out there. I need her to look directly at the screen, right? Like I said, it's not even a lot of people watching this live stream right now, but if any guys are watching this live stream and you happen to see her, please run. You see her on Tinder, Two Fish, Bluefish, whatever it is, Christian Mingle, like I said, whatever people are using at this moment, please run. Please run. This is not worth it. Let her be with a woman. Let her 100% be with a woman, because you serve no purpose or benefit but money. She can get that from another woman. Let her get all of that directly from another woman. But I promise you, even if she was able to get that from a woman, that woman is going to get tired directly of her. Like I said, this is poor broke. This is hobo behavior directly from this woman here. And then the craziest and the saddest part about this is that you're going to have a lot of young girls listening to her and thinking that this is the Bible, that this is the blind faith that they should be following, and how it is that they should look at, deem, and see men, and how it is that they should value men. And people wonder why it is that you got a lot of guys now where they just think that they could just buy women because of stuff like this. It's like, well, all right, you just want me for the money, then I just want you for X, Y, and Z. That's the even trade. In my book, that's an even trade. If you're gonna if you pull up to a dude and you got a mouth like this, you should expect that dude to sit up there and say, like, all right, so what you selling? What am I getting for this money? Like I said, she's out here talking reckless. She is talking cash money at this moment in time. And like I said, that's crazy. I hope she never has a daughter. I hope she never has kids, because her being a mother is going to be a bad thing, especially her having a daughter. Oh boy, it's over. It's 100%. Like, how would you think that the daughter's going to grow up to sit up there and even treat the father? She's going to be the same one talking about she a single independent woman. He's like, I don't want you to be in my life or the child's life. Just be on child support and send us the money. That's her. Yo, that is wild. That is wild. Man, that's crazy. Tippy says she's pretty. She works out. Tippy, let me let you know something. She can look the way that she looks, but coming directly from a guy, when a woman talks like this, automatically you are not attractive anymore. You are not talking with a mouth like this. And again, she didn't even have to cuss like a sailor. Whatever attractive points that she had, them bad boys went down to like -2. Because that's crazy to me. Like, all the women all over the world talk about how they want a guy to just sit up there and actually want to be in their presence, and princess treatment and all this other type of stuff. She's getting that and she's complaining. That is wild. You got a guy that actually wants to be around you, that more than likely wants to date you and be in a relationship with you and wants to give you the world, and you're sitting up here complaining. Ooh, boy. If this dude, look here, I would never fault this dude if he's like, yo, with this I hope he sees this video. Because I promise you, if he ever sees her video, if I knew who that man was, I would DM this dude and send her video directly to him. Because I promise you, the moment in time he sees that video, he would automatically rethink how it is that he looks at women, how he talks to women, how he even goes about it. This is how a lot of nice guys change. And in some instances, this is how a lot of nice guys change for the worst. Because you got women out here that pull stuff like this. And it's crazy to have your whole face directly out here on social media doing this. It's like I said, it's only a matter of time. The internet is forever. It's only a matter of time before that dude finds this video or somebody sends it to him. She better be thinking, I don't know what guy she believes in, but she is blessed, because I'm petty as all pettiness can be. I will highly send that video directly to that dude. I kid you not. Kid you not. Because that's crazy. That dude does not need to be nowhere in her vicinity. He does not need to associate with her. He needs to stop fawning. It's a lost cause, brother. This is just not it. You're being used to the fullest extent. Do not be stupid. Matter of fact, to any dudes directly out here, listen, we only got 20 people. To any dudes out here listening, please never be this stupid. I mean, in general, don't be stupid, but never be this stupid. Because you can obviously see the type of respect that she has for this dude, and it's none. She looks at that dude as an ATM and a bank. For any woman out there listening to me at this moment in time, if you got sons, please make sure to inform your sons about the good, the bad, and the ugly of these women directly out here, because you got women and girls of your son's age that think and talk like this. They will look at your son as a meal ticket. They will look at him as literally, I'm talking about not just a meal ticket, but a free meal, because a lot of these bums don't know how to cook. They don't want to buy food for themselves. They want a man to buy food for them. And that's the only reason that they go directly on dates. And this is why they got 7 dates lined up back to back, where they sitting up there going to a Roof Chris or whatever, Benihana, whatever expensive restaurant that they got directly. This is exactly how they working out here, getting free meals back and forth. It's a wild work. That's diabolical. Diabolical. Capel said the oldest job in human history. That's facts. Rena said, with that 24-inch lace front on, husband wants to see your natural hair and face most of the time. Yeah. And And the funny part is you can't sit up there and tell that to a lot of women directly out here, because a lot of women think that they know what a man wants, but they really don't know. And you have a lot of women, a lot of men out here that will sit up there and tell women like, "Yo, I want to see like you in your natural. I want to see you without the makeup. I want to see you just barefaced and just without the makeup, because that's the actual beauty." And a lot of women don't understand it because they're living through this type of beauty fantasy where in their mind they have to look this certain way or look like other women in order to be deemed beautiful by men, even though men are directly telling them that this is not what I'm looking for, this is not what I want. It's like, it's crazy. Like it just is. I don't know. it's, it's wild out here. Tippy said what she has is a rare, cause not a lot of men will spend money and want to spend time with their girl. It's always the girls that complain about men having a good man in their lives. Yep. Sham said, I don't understand what she wants. I don't understand either. I don't understand either. And the crazy part is for her friend, for her female friends to not correct her at all on any of this is diabolical. Is that about, like I said, a lot of women got to realize that some of your female friends do not actually care for you. They will let you be at your worst and be the most stupid, because it puts them above you, and it also leaves you single. Like I said, she's going to be single for a long time. I do not see her at any point in time realistically in a relationship, and I can promise you that this girl here, the guys that she actually want to chase and specifically be with, they not chasing her. I can promise you, I can put top dollar directly on that. She gets shot down and mistreated by the guys that she actually wants to be with. Promise you that. Promise you that. Like I said, the guys that she doesn't want, that she's not interested in, that are interested in her, she's going to always turn them down. She's always going to treat them like this. Like I said, I promise you, she didn't been around and slept with bums that'll sit up there and be like, I'll take you out to go get some hot wings real quick. And she's like, okay, we can go have some hot wings. La 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 la. She'll do that. But then you got this one dude that's interested, but you're not interested in him, and he wants to take you out to all these expensive places and pay for all of your friends. You're like, oh no, that's okay, but you can send me the money. Thank you. Send it by Vimo. Send it by Zelle. Send it by Cash App. Send it by PayPal. You can do that. But you just can't be near me. Whew, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So obviously, like I said before, all I'm hearing, directly from her is that she got a price. That's it. She got a price. She lists that price, and whatever you need to happen is going to happen. Like I said, that's some crazy work. Crazy work. Sham says she wants money spent on her without him around. What does she mean? Hey, that's where I'm at, Sham. I have not a clue. Tippy said, I would love for a man to want to spend time and his money on me. Capo said, no, my balls ran away as soon as she opened her mouth. Rita said, the old school brothers must have given you the game. I don't know. Who, let me see. You know the funny part? No, not really. I mean, I guess I can say that a lot of stuff has come over time. Like my mom, she told me certain things, right? Um, but even when it deals with the black male role models that I had directly in my life, like some things were in a sense like talked about, but not really. I want to say it was a lot of mistakes, and stuff like that had to go through and a lot of lessons learned in order for me to get to a certain point. So it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Sham said, LOL, she looks at all men as an ATM. She's greedy and narcissistic. All that forehead and nothing working up in that brain. Oh, man. Oh, that's diabolical. This woman said all that forehead and not a brain. Whoo! It's diabolical. Carter the Scarecrow. That is wild. Or was it the Tin Man? I forgot. It's been a while. I know somebody wanted courage, cowardly lion. Yeah, the Tin Man that wanted a heart. Scarecrow didn't have a brain. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was right. Rena said, my dad, brother, cousin, and uncles got with hubby before we married and gave him the tea about me. I mean, obviously, it worked out, because y'all got married. So obviously it was positive. It was positive. It was positive. Capo said, darn, if I was not married or was allowed to sister wife, LOL. Oh, this man said sister wife. Oh, man. Sham said, man, the economy is taking, and this orange individual is trying to wage a war with Venezuela. Rena said, we can use coupons while you playing. Wait. Coupons? What? I'm confused. Wait. Talking about food shopping? Really got me lost. I'm completely confused with the coupons. TB says, sister wife, I'm already spoken for. Said you my man. This woman right here. Oh my God. Sham said, LOL, yeah, TB says. It's why I can't take y'all nowhere. That is crazy. Rena said, balling on the budget. That's bars. That's bars. That's bars. Capital said, Tippy said, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Tippy said, he not reading the chat yet. Nah, I'm reading the chat. I'm catching up. Sham said, no, you had it right. She's a scarecrow. Yeah. Tippy said, damn, that's slow. All that head and no brain. Yeah, that's crazy. That was funny. Capo said, the lady got a 5 head. Wild. Rena said we can use coupons on a date. Oh yeah. Oh, that's like Everybody Hates Chris. That's what his dad did. With their mom, they went to a all you can eat buffet, and he had the coupon. I think it might have been for a free meal, or it was like a half off or something like that. He had multiple coupons of that too. Funny show, let me tell you. Funny show. Sham said, LOL, we tease you like that because we know it makes you laugh and blush at the same time. That's why my camera not on. So you really can't tell nothing unless you just specifically listen to the voice. Like I said, that's why the camera ain't on. Ain't been on for years. Ain't been on for years. Oh man. Let me see. Do I got another video directly? I think I might have another video. I gotta just look at it real quick. Let me see. Okay, so I do got a video. Well, that's gonna come up a little bit later. Excuse me. And it's touching on the subject of thievery. So I just want to give because a lot of people say that I don't give like solutions and all this other type of stuff.
Thanksgiving Eve.
Listen. Let me see. Hold on. It doesn't matter. You have right. So basically, what you see here, and I'm just going to put an assumption out here. I think this woman is pregnant. Because I usually every now and again, I guess because it's not a weekday, a lot of people not going to be here during a live stream. I guess it'd be like that. I try to give warnings out there to women that just as much as women are supposed to be on the lookout and keep their heads on a swivel directly for men, out here, even more so you should be keeping your head on a swivel when it deals with women, because you got a lot of women that will look at a situation and they'll know that you find safety within other women or blind trust and faith, and they'll misuse that blind trust and faith in order to do what it is that they specifically want to do. So let's just take a look at this video.
No intimacy and privacy. You're in public. It's her First Amendment right.
So I'm in all red, and she's the one with the gray hoodie that's behind me. She pushes my bag, and you see the green purse falls to the floor behind the showcase. The only reason I set it down there is because I was already in the store for about 4.5 hours doing a buck order. There goes my purse falling behind the showcase. I had it on my arm initially. She knew it was my purse. She seen me, count how much cash I had. Now that's her walking up intentionally, coming behind, and
look at that. You can see the purse on the floor.
Under it. There
Look at
it
that.
goes. I asked her for a box because I had a lot of bundles that I was getting. And she kicks it again, make sure it's secured.
the video is enough for me to charge you.
I swear to God, I don't have that wallet and I'm pregnant.
Tomorrow Thanksgiving.
She was like, I swear I don't got it.
Because it can go to where you can come out of them cuffs. I can just write my report. Listen to what I'm telling you. It can come to where I can write my report and you can come out of them cuffs and retrieve that bag.
Is this still there?
Huh?
That's where he was
The
going to look.
manager went to go look for it.
Okay.
This is the box. This is the purse. Watch you go like this. You
This
budget
woman
the
is a
first time,
clown.
it doesn't fold. You go ahead and do it again. On the second one is when it folds. After it folds, that's when you make your way around the counter. You see it, you kick it. You didn't give it a good enough kick. You kick it a second time, and then you put a box in front of it. It was all intentional. It was. That's what the camera shows.
No, this is what I'm trying to understand. Like, how stupid do you gotta be to sit up there? You are doofy. How dumb do you have to sit up there and be? We got the footage. We see you in 4K. This is you. This is you. We got you. And you sitting up here. I don't got the purse. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not what brother, give it up. Just give it up. Like, are you stupid? You can't tell me that you got those big ass frames on your face and you can't see that we got you. You can't word. The police are right there. We got you on camera. We can clearly see the purse on top of the shelf. You came through when a woman was distracted, knocked that bad boy to the other side of the building, and then proceeded to walk around and then go to the purse and then kick it. You can't tell me that you didn't know that purse was there. So what? You were playing soccer with like air, with a paper ball or something? Like, what was happening here? What were you really moving around with your feet? Come on now. Come on. You were sitting up there playing like you was Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo, whatever that dude's name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Yo, that's crazy. That's some doubt. So like I said before, for the women out there, again, this is why you need to be very cautious of other women directly out there, because they will also see you as weak. They will take advantage directly of you. No telling how much money that woman had directly in her wallet in that purse. They found a purse, but they didn't find a wallet. I wonder why. Because this scumbag decided that she wanted to steal from another woman that looks like her. That's wild work. That's all I'm saying. That for me, that is some majorly wild work. And like I said, in a lot of instances when it deals with videos like this, you know, you have other platforms, female platforms, they're not going to really discuss or talk about that because it goes against the narrative of saying that, you know, how dangerous men are and how opportunistic that men are when it deals with women. You got so many women out here that look at other women as marks. It's crazy. You got so many women that will set other women up. But, you know, it's wild. It is diabolical. Rena said other women will mess you up sometimes. Yep. Mo says seen this lady on the Disney Channel. She starred on Goof Troop. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Timmy said, I wear glasses, and we used to have a saying, trust women with reading glasses. She's a woman. That lady right here is making us look bad. Oh, man. Cabell says, swiper, no swiping. Oh, yeah, that's classic. Yeah. That's classic. So this is another video, and I do want to highlight this video because I've talked about this a variety of times, right? And let me see if I can pause it real quick.
Put off, okay.
Right. I've talked about stuff like this before, where I've noticed over time, and some of my mods who are here, they've heard me talk about this, where growing up, I used to try to count on commercials how many black people I could find, right? Or how many commercials I would see where they would have a black woman in an interracial relationship, right? Trying to basically highlight and pedestalize that as basically the thing. And one of the things that I've seen over time is a lot of these shows where they would make sure to put a black woman who was the lead with somebody who is not a black man. one of the main breakout shows that you had a lot of people loving on at the moment in time was Scandal, right? Which was, you had Olivia Pope. You had so many women out there that wanted to be Olivia Pope, and they were just pedestalizing and dreaming directly of that. And for those who don't know what Scandal is, basically, long story short, right? The president of the United States, who was a white man, is married to a white woman, right? The first lady. And he decides that he wants to have a black woman as a side piece. That's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much Scandal. The president of the United States has a black woman as a side piece. And I was just trying to figure out, how was that like a good plot or a story? I'm like, so it's a good plot or a story because the most powerful man in the United States wants to be with a black woman while he's married, basically being an adulterer, being a cheater. I'm like, I don't understand how that's a plot, because if it was the reverse, if it was a black man doing this, that show probably would not have even have made it like 5 episodes. Yeah, that show would not have made it. It would not have made it. It would have been canceled so quick. People would have had so many negative things to say about it online. It would have been wild. But Olivia Pope made it. And you even had women dressing as Olivia Pope for Halloween. I'm like, it can't be that serious. I'm like, this ain't it. I'm like, this is just wild to me. I'm like, this is not a good look for the image of black women out here. Because for all intents and purposes, Olivia Pope was very educated. She was very smart, very well read, very knowledgeable. She was proficient in her job. So it's like, it's crazy to me that she could not get somebody who was not married. I'm like, that's a little bit weird. I'm like, this is where you want to sit up there and stay. This is who you want to sit up there and be with. You want to be the side piece to a married man, and you're fine with that. All right. So now, with stating that, right? Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about, Rena. You said Bush Jr. with Condoleezza, right? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Scandal with Kerry Washington. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But so we're going to listen to the analysis of this lady here about a few different things, and we're going to talk about it, right? So let's listen.
Is Maya Rudolph okay? Because her partner, Paul Thomas Anderson, is
Might have
using
to turn
his
up the volume.
characters to fetishize black women all over your movie screen. As a former television executive turned screenwriter and script consultant, let's talk about one battle after another. I'm not easily offended. When I read things, I try to find the context and understand the intentions and the purpose of whatever offensive language or behavior may be in the story. So this particular film did not offend me. However, I did find it disturbing, because when everyone else is sniggling and giggling in the theater at your expense, it makes you feel something. Now, had this script come across my desk, we would have had to have a conversation about social responsibility. This film doesn't exist without race. Spoiler alert, the film is about a white man needing to erase his paternity because he wants to join an organization that does not allow race mixing, with black people being the worst offense. Does Olivia know that Fitz is in this organization? So if we don't fetishize black women, and if we don't talk badly about mixed race people, we don't have a film. That I understand. The question would be, though, to what end? What message is on the end of the joke? What message is on the end of the satire? How is this story affecting how the world will view and treat black women? How is this story affecting how white men think about, treat, fetishize black women? By the end of this film, I am not changed. I am not having difficult conversations. So I wouldn't say to this filmmaker, this is terrible. You have no business writing this kind of thing. I would ask them, why? Why does this story need to be told? And we need to check on Maya, because the question is, does Paul Thomas Anderson believe these things while he's over there with his mixed race wife and their mixed race children? Check on her. Okay, subjective stuff out of the way. Let's talk about story. This film is about 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and you know that I'm a believer that nothing needs to be that long unless it's Endgame. And maybe Malcolm X. The longest part of the film is the setup. We are in the setup for more than an hour. The film doesn't actually start its present day timeline, which is the goal we're trying to achieve now, until we're more than an hour into the film. So everything else is backstory. Do we need that backstory information? Yes. What I find interesting about this film is that it is not the protagonist who deals with the inciting incident. It is the antagonist that gives us a reason for a story, because the antagonist wants to join this group. He realizes that he cannot have a mixed race child in the world, or people cannot find out that he was in love with or fetishized, or that he was in relationship, no matter how weird it was, with a black woman. So he needs to erase that history. That is the only reason that our protagonist is on the run. That is the only reason that our protagonist has to go find his daughter. She's not immediately kidnapped. She's taken to an asylum. She's taken to safe haven. But he needs to get to her because they are on the run, because the antagonist needs to get rid of both of them. Also, though I wouldn't call the movie predictable, I saw it all coming. I knew that he wasn't hunting down that team for justice. I knew exactly what the reveal was going to be, and you should have too. I also knew how she was going to win at the climax. Saw it coming. Now, something we do at the Professional Pen when we get screenplays is we give you a recommendation. Pass. This script needs a whole lot of work, and it's likely not doing the thing you intend for it to do. Needs development. You've got a story here, but there's work that needs to be done so that it's doing the thing you intend for it to do. And consider, the script is doing the thing you intend for it to do. I didn't say anything about liking it. I didn't say anything about this was the best thing ever written. Our job at the Professional Pen is to make sure that you have a clear story that is pushing forward, that is doing the thing that you want it to do. So if I had to give a recommendation to one battle after another, I would give it a consider, with the caveat that we have to consider the social responsibility. As writers, we get to decide what messages get put in the world. We have to understand the impact of those messages on the world. Life begets art, and art begets life. There is a circle there, and we are right in the middle of it. And so while I think that this movie had some funny moments, and obviously all the actors came out and did their thing, and everybody always thinks that if you can push, you're some genius, right? If you can talk about things that other people are afraid to talk about, then you're doing something genius. It's kind of like Quentin Tarantino and his infatuation with the N-word. You see what I'm saying? But to what end? How does it affect the world? How does it affect the people who are the butt of the joke? So as writers, when you are writing, you need to consider that. It might be funny to you. It might be cool to you. It could be offensive to others, but offense to the side. How are you participating in which way the narrative of those groups of people is going to go, especially when that group of people is already marginalized? Happy writing.
So to, in a sense, piggyback directly off of that, in a sense, sort of, kind of, that's the one reason that I brought up the whole thing with the scandal Olivia Pope thing, because it always seems to me that when they bring up these types of things, shows, that when they depict black women, it's a stereotype, right? And main stereotype is that, you know, she's always going to be straightforward, right? She's going to be the independent type and all these, right? And then you'll have the white guy or the guy that she's with is technically in the background. He's not, in a sense, in the forefront, right? He's not being assertive and all of those. It's always the black woman that's, in a sense, doing that. She's the assertive one. She's the inquisitive one. She's the one that will pull up with the protection. She will be the one that's always the guard. And again, it's always white folks that are painting the picture of black women. They're the ones always in control of the media. So again, you could also potentially say that when it deals with the stereotype of black women being a certain type of way, or the visions that people have, especially white folks, you can basically put that blame on the white writers, the mainstream, type of media that you have out here when it deals with a lot of these TV. And like I said, I've seen it time and time and time again. And I'll put it to you like this, right? And this is something very subtle and simple. And I know that a lot of people aren't going to get what it is I'm saying, right? In car commercials, it used to be at a point in time where whenever you saw a car being driven, a nice car, truck, whatever it is, you would always see a man in the front seat, at the driver's seat, right, at the helm. And then you will see the woman in the passenger seat, and then you will see the kids. Now, when you look at a lot of these car commercials, you always see the woman driving and the man is in the passenger seat, and then you see the kids. Or in certain instances, you'll see the woman in the driver's seat and then the kids in the background. And it's like it doesn't register to a lot of people. People just like, well, women are driving, women have a license, they got the, the ability and right to drive and da da da. I'm like, no, you're not understanding. They're telling you literally how they're shifting society, where instead of the men being in a driver's seat, the men basically leading, knowing the directions, knowing where to go, leading the situation. Now we're going to put the women in the driver's seat. Now we're going to have the women leading everything. Now we're going to have the women taking the initiative, the women being assertive, the women doing this, everything that you would normally see, deem, and imagine a man doing. We're now going to have the women in that seat doing that. And that's what you currently see at this moment in time. And then now you hear women online always talking about like, oh, why is it that women have to do this and women have to? I mean, it was already foretold. People just didn't pay attention to it. And again, like I said, I've watched this happen by way of and I'm just talking about commercials. I'm not talking about the television shows. I'm not talking about the movies. I ain't talking about the magazines. I ain't even talking about the music. I'm simply just talking about the advertisements, the commercials. And this is what I've been seeing for decade upon decade. But it's like people ain't paying attention. Like I said, it's subtle things that are placed directly out there. You can see where it leads in the future. It only takes a few decades for whatever advertisements they put directly out there to actually gain hold in society. In certain instances, depending on how powerful the advertisement is, right, it'll take a lot less. But like I said, people don't understand it. Shem said, I still think that he was sleeping with Omarosa before white people wanted to get rid of her. That's a good point. Typically interracial commercials, the black women are driving, being masculine, and the man is being the passenger princess. It's bars. And like I said, when it deals with the media, it's like, yeah, a lot of, black dudes, we get the short end of the stick. It's like, yeah, you the drug dealer, the pimp, the criminal, all this other type of stuff, everything, like negative. But it's like the way that they, in a sense, do this to black women is, I guess, it's palatable. So a lot of black women don't really see it. Like it's there, but it's not there. It would have to be screaming in order for a lot of black women to actually understand that, they're putting these stereotypes and they're leading with these stereotypes. So this is why when black women have interactions with white people in the world, this is why white people react a certain type of way, because the images that they themselves place out there, the stereotypes, the stories that they tell, the narratives that they give about black women are what they tend to believe in life. So if they put images and movies out there of black women always being aggressive and yelling and all this other type of stuff, when a black woman is talking to a white woman calm, they're still going to imagine, because of that fairy tale, because of that story, because of that fiction, because of that image that they've already made, be like, oh, well, black women are just naturally loud. She's talking to me calm, but I still hear her yelling. She's not actually hearing a black woman in front of her yelling. She's listening to whatever form of media that is on rewind, that's spinning directly in her brain, and then she's projecting that onto that black woman, making it seem like that's actually her, and it's not. So like I said, with a lot of forms of media, white folks live in their own reality, and it's the reality that they shape and make directly for themselves, versus the initial, the main reality that we are actually currently in, that you can, touch and see and feel. Like I said, it's crazy. Tippy said, I think goes over a lot of black women's heads. Tippy said, if I was married, I'm always going to be a passenger princess. That's crazy. Tippy said, Seji, am I the only one commenting? I can't see the other comments from the other mods, just mine, and that's weird. I think that's because I'm not sure if they might be on like the vertical side, because remember, Tippy, it's two different live streams going at the same time, so it might be from the vertical side, I guess. Maybe. I'm not sure which one. Like I said, people have like their favorites. I know that people, happen to watch from their phones. So I try to cater to both in a sense, at least in that way. So you might have to look at a different live stream, possibly. I'm not sure how to do it. Sham said, yes, society has a lot of behavioral problems. And it's like either the generation dies out or we address the behavioral problems that are passed down. Yep. Yep. Freshly salted. What is up? What is up? What is up? Said you are not the only one commenting. Sham said it's crazy watching someone live. Well, you said it's crazy watching someone live in their own fantasy. I don't feel they live in a reality of its own. It's clearly a fantasy. It's scary to watch and try to snap them out of it. Yeah. Tippy said, but I'm on SEIJIHITO the second. No. Yeah, it's only on it. The live stream is only on that channel, but we got two live streams on that channel. You got one vertical and one horizontal. So you got one that's basically built for cell phones, right? So you can just hold your cell phone to do it that way, or you got the horizontal, which is for, let's say, televisions, maybe tablets, stuff like that. So two different ones. But yeah, you're on the right channel, Tippy. I said channel. You're on the right page. So you're good. I'm not sure, how you would basically click. I would have to try to do it myself. Let me see something. Let me just go to my channel real quick and see what it gives me. Yeah, it does show that I'm doing two. Yeah. So Tippy, what you would have to do is you would have to click on my name and go specifically to the channel, right? Because I'm looking at it, says on the horizontal we got 8, and then for the vertical we got 11. So it's it's just depending on which one that you pick. That's basically how it works. So you got your choices. Mo said just switch back to the one with the cell phone icon. So that's what you would do, Tippy. Just go to the one with the cell phone icon. I did actually see that on the front page too. That's actually pretty dope. Wait, do I got 142 notifications? That's wild. I mean, I guess that's probably coming from like some of the comments there. Tippy said, but I was on the cell phone one before and I switched phones because my other phone needed to charge. Tippy is a rich girl. Let me tell you, got 2 phones. Shout out to Kevin Gates. That was one of the main songs I used to play when I had my 2 phones. Classic stuff. One for music and the other one for phone calls. Like I said, having a second phone just as a MP3 player is beautiful. It's beautiful stuff. Tippy said, "Oh, never mind. I see it." Capel says, "Seji, the vertical is Seji After Dark." LOL. That's crazy. Mo said, "I'm here with you." Switch to the one with the cell phone icon. Tippy said, "I'm not rich," and he said, "How and where?" Whatever, Tippy. Tippy Tipperton. That's the running joke every single time because Tippy has a rich name. So I'm like, yeah, that girl's rich. Tippy got like the Paris Hilton name out there. It's like, yeah, you rich. I know you rich. Tippy got that secret money. Sham said, man, Black Friday was dead. I had to shop to beat out the snowstorm, so I was getting groceries real quick. And yeah, people were out shopping for the storm, not for Black Friday. Oh, that's wild. That is wild. But it'd be like that. But yeah, hopefully everybody out there will, be safe. I'm not sure if the snow is going to hit everybody else since we got storm systems that do, tend to move and stuff. So hopefully everybody will, stay safe. Tippy said Tiffany is not a rich name. LOL. Yes, it is. You ever heard of Tiffany's? You ever heard of Tiffany's? Literally, they got you are named after a nice jewelry store that is worth a lot of money. You know, um, what is it? What is it? Windows said, "Where's Keisha at?" I'm not even sure what that even means. What is it? Windows. Mo said at Seji, who the hell is Capple? That's the name up there, or was it Apple? Yeah, it's Capple. CAPPLE 3568. Yeah. Sham said, Mo, you can't see Capple. I think Capple might be on the no, he's on the vertical too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's supposed to be Crazy Apple. Okay, yeah, I think I do remember the name from a while ago. Like I said, some names I remember, and then other ones it's a little bit difficult because I know that people like change names and YouTube does a lot of stuff. So it's like, yeah. Tippy said it's C Apple LOL. Wait, let me go back to it. Oh, okay. Well, I was pronouncing the whole thing. That's what it was. My bad. yo, for the longest time, for about like a good hour, I was literally pronouncing the whole thing. My bad. My apologies. My apologies. It be like that. Like I said, I look at people's names because I'm used to like gamer tags and how people normally try to, write stuff and fit stuff in. So I'm like, I thought, his name was like Cap along with Apple. So so I was like Capple. Like I said, it be like that, it happens. Like I said, that's the gamer in me. You're just trying to figure out names and trying to make do. Because sometimes you try to pronounce some stuff and it's like, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work out. Sham was like, LOL, that's how I saw it, or that's how I was saying it. Yeah, see? See Apple said YouTube shortens it. Yeah, see that? Yeah, that caught me. Yeah. It be like that. It be Oh man, that's crazy. That's probably what a good hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, because we're at like the 2 hour mark right now. Yeah, that's wild. And I know I'm not tired, so it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Man. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah. Let me see. Do I got one more? I might have one more. Technically, I got like a ton of videos in the back, but every video is not meant to be shown. Can't do that. I forgot what that video was. That was the thief. I could do that one. Okay, that's the one with all of the Asians. Right. Old Hollywood, yeah. Uh, yeah, I got a few different videos directly up here. I got the British up here talking again. Yeah, I gotta put some stuff together. Let me see. I came across Jared. I think I covered those two videos. What was this one about Taylor Swift? I forgot what that dude said. Okay, that's the one I covered earlier. Someone's about to cook at high levels. It's accountability. Okay, that was the whole thing with Drake. Muslim communities in Texas. That was the Michael Jackson impersonator. Oh, yeah. That's the drummer. Please raise your kids. Okay, that was the one where she was at the restaurant and they were trying to force her to tip. Right. Yeah, I guess some of these I'll just I think cover at another date, I guess. Because I got like a few different videos directly up there. So yeah, I'll just probably cover those later. I ain't gonna try to lengthen this more than what it needs to be. Sham says, Seji, I share those soup recipes on your channel. Oh yeah, I think I saw the conversation with you and Gail. I should have hearted. I think I hearted those. I think when I placed those directly up there. Technically thinking about it, I'm like, man, I wish you would have put those in like the Discord. Cause you got like thieves out here that's trying to run off with recipes. And I was like, man, I probably should have told you to put that in Discord, but it's already out there. So Tippy said, when you put oil and lotion on your skin, the next day it's still smooth. Oh yeah. Most said YouTube changed our username to @name. Okay, I got you. Tippy said another mom was jumped by wild kids again. Oh my god. Tippy, if you got that video, send it to me on IG. Send it to me on IG, and I'll do a video on it and have it posted by tomorrow. That's crazy. It's already enough that we had this happen once. Like why does this just like keep like this is just crazy. Mo said, all of us, my username is the same as my @name. Shem said, I don't know why restaurants don't just do mandatory tipping in a bill, just leave it as is. Oh yeah. See Apple said LOL. Shem said, oh yeah, I should have put it in Discord because I feel my version tastes better than the white ones you see all over. Yeah, that's true. Yo, D Money, what is up? D Money has officially pulled the tippy, and this man pulled up late to the scene. D Money, that man used to be on time. Let me tell you something. That man was bright, shining early, about a good 5-10 minutes. That man Tippy came in within the first, I think, the first minute or 2 minutes. I was like, whoa, I'm like, Tippy is here. I'm like, oh my God, she's awake. She's not playing Red Dead 2 at this moment in time. And her horse is not getting killed by that giant bear of the Cougars. I'm like, wow, that's wild. Diabolical. I was so proud of Tippy. Tippy was on time today. Got to sit up there. As soon as I get the stuff that I need for my computer, I'm just going to have a button I can press where I can just automatically have, like the claps and the cheers. Because that's what today called for. I'm so proud of Tippy. Let me tell you. D Money said, damn, I missed the stream. It'd be like that, though. You know what happens? Tippy said he just doing his captain time, always late, some blacks. This woman. This is why I came with Tippy. This is why I cannot with Tippy. This man C Apple said Tippy is employee of the month. That's wild. That is wild. D Money said Tippy stop being racist. Oh man. But yeah, that's pretty much it though. That's pretty much it. For anybody who did miss the live stream, we will have that replay. Sham said we headed to the end. Tippy, racism is coming out. Yeah, that's the normal Tippy at this moment in time. That is the normal Tippy at this moment in time. Let me tell you. If it ain't about the Rock or any Samoans, It's about the blacks. Let me tell you. But yeah, if anybody missed the live stream, you can easily hit the replay and check that directly out. Probably got to give it a few minutes for it to like actually post. Um, I'm going to let this settle a little bit to give I guess like other people time to potentially watch it. And then I will post the solo version of the video, my reaction of the initial video, which I can already promise you as soon as I post that video, it'll probably only get like a few hundred views. And then I'll post a part two, which we already saw directly in the live stream. Again, both of those videos, I can promise you, is probably going to get like a few hundred views, which is cool. It's to be expected because of what the content is and how a lot of people are just like, I'm not trying to sit up there and see that. Put some other type of videos and news directly up. Oh, I'm tired of seeing the same. I mean, like I said, it'd be like that. I'm just trying to put warnings out there as much as possible before things get worse. Because like I said, just dealing with the live stream and the video that I posted up there, both of those two videos, yeah, that's bad. That is not a good look at all. At all. And that really needs to get stopped. Like I said, we can sit up there and talk about from the beginning of time, dudes abandoning their responsibilities. But like women or young girls doing stuff like this, that's crazy. That's beyond diabolical. That's wild. Old school says, Seji, why are Karens out here doing a Dream Girls Korean music? Like FBA can have anything for themselves. Oh, you said why are Koreans? I read that as Karens. Yeah, Asians they tend to follow a lot of black music. It's just like over in the UK, they did like some type of it wasn't Tupac, it was like a Michael Jackson. What's the name? And they got like a white boy being Michael Jackson. I'm like, dog. I'm like, I don't know how you got him being like a young Michael Jackson, and I'm like, whatever, dog. Like I said, it's wild out here. Yo, Judah, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? Tippy said, I have an excuse though. I'm Cali time. Oh, you talking about you being late? Nah, I ain't trying to. Tippy is always on vacation. Let me tell you, Tippy's on vacation. Always either playing The Sims or might be playing like some Red Dead or something. Let me tell you, Tippy is on Tippy time. Mo says, Seji, post that video of you. That's crazy. That's diabolical. This man right here. See, this is why we got to end live streams right here because Mo just be coming out of nowhere. Tippy said Red Dead Redemption 2. D Money said Tippy always got an excuse. Some crazy word. Like I said, I love you guys. Much love, respect, and appreciation. For any newcomers, much love and shout out to you. Shout out to hold on, let me go back. I might have to pull back. Might have to go right back up. Shout out to Rena for the dono, for pulling directly up. It being your first live stream, much love, respect, and appreciation. And again, like I said before, I'll probably sit up there and have to start doing some live streams because we got people directly here who work night shift, and trust me, I understand night shift because I've been there. People need a little bit of entertainment, something to get them directly through that work time. So yeah, much love to all the folks directly out there. Any new subscribers, shout out to you. Anybody who might have threw some bits directly into the live stream, shout out to you as well, because I can't specifically see it, but if you have, much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to any of the members, to any of the patrons, and anybody who has donated over time. Much love, respect, and appreciation. I would not be able to do the things that I am able to do every single day without people like you. What was it? True said, I'm listening live from work. I'm going to have to rewatch from the start later. Gotcha. Tippy say, it's really hard trying to 100% on that game. Oh, yeah. That's bars. That's bars. This man Mo said he has a certain type. Diabolical. C Apple said, you jumping on Black Ops 7 later? Yeah. I've been trying to do the whole thing of looking for content along with trying to halfway no life Black Ops. I think I'm a little bit successful on that. I'm currently Prestige 8 at this moment in time, and I'm working on trying to get I guess it's arc light, but I consider it to be diamond for the assault rifles at the moment. So I got to work on my headshots. Trying to maximize the amount of points that I get. From multiplayer and whatnot. But yeah, I'll be on there. Tippy said I'm playing it all over again, and I missed a lot on that game. Oh yeah, because it's a big game. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff on there. Seattle said, "Dang, I ain't do that not once." Yeah. What's the name of the game mode? I think it was like Skimp. Oh, let me see. Because right now we got double XP basically running. So you would have to play. Let me go to the lobby real quick and look. Um, you would have to go to skirmish. So if you want to maximize the most amount of points, play skirmish because it's we still got double XP for about like a little bit over 24 hours. So play skirmish. It's fun at first, but then it'll get like a little bit like sort of kind of like tedious, sort of. But stick directly with it, and you'll pretty much range in between 25 to like 30K. 25 to 30K XP every single game. And that's going to help you level up pretty quick, especially from like 1 to 30. You'll be leveling pretty quick. Actually, I put it to like from 1 to 40, you'll level fairly quickly, especially if you get that amount of XP continuously. Yeah, you'll be flying directly through. Because I'm 8th prestige, 42, 8th prestige. Seattle said I might join you depending on time. Okay, I got you. No problem, no problem. You I would say just send me when you're on, you can probably just send me a message and let me know. Or if I happen to see you on, I'll just, probably just join your lobby or something like that. I can do that. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. I'm going to let y'all go. I'm about to go heat up some holiday food, heat up some cornbread. You said remember I'm in the UK. Oh, yeah. The hours are different. So yeah, just send me a message then. Just send me a message. But yeah, I'm about to heat up this food real quick. Got some cornbread and some greens. I'm about to, heat that up and take a nice little break. So yeah, go have y'all some food, get your feng shui directly in order, catch us on some shows, some anime and things of that nature. And I will catch you guys in the next video and or live stream. Peace out. Oh Lord, Tippy said, wait, here she go. Game stream. I can't do the game stream, Tippy. At least not from this channel. I see. I knew Tippy was going to say that. It'll happen at one point, Tippy. I got you. I got you. It's going to happen. I got you. We're going to. We got to get some things situated. Tippy said, and what did you have for dinner? Same thing. Old school said, yes, game stream. See, we go. Now Tippy got somebody else to co-sign. Oh man, that is crazy. D Money said Tippy doesn't ever show up to my gaming streams. Yeah, Tippy, you got to show up to D Money's gaming streams. Matter of fact, yo, D Money, let me know when you are like streaming and stuff. Put that in like the Discord when you are streaming, so I can like pull up to like whatever streams that you got, if it's like Twitch, YouTube, or whatnot, or whatever. So I can be there to help get you like some views and stuff. All right, Sham said, all right, stay safe. Going to take care of my asthma. All right. So yeah, D Money, whenever you happen to let me know the hours that you stream, write that in a Discord, and I'll make sure to have like a window in the screen, open to give some views and stuff like that. Like I say, even if it's just the few of us directly there, it'll be the few of us directly there. Just like for when Sham was up there streaming on Discord. He said, "Will do." All right, all right. And that's another thing too. If any for the rest of y'all that might be a part of the channel that also play video games and stream, drop that directly into the Discord so I can stop by and watch the streams and stuff like that. Show some love and support just like y'all do here. But anyways, I catch y'all later. Peace out. Oh Lord. Tippy said, hope it's not a boring game like Diablo. Tippy is just a hater directly out here. Let me tell y'all something. But all right. Catch y'all in the next video live stream. Peace out.